So few buildings remain in Vegas from the original era. You have Caesar's Palace, Circus, you have the Flamingo, but you also have the Planet Hollywood. However, it wasn't always that way. Back in the day, it was the Aladdin, and then it was the Aladdin after they tore it down and rebuilt it. And now it's the Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. Hey, good morning. It's Steven with Hey Look, It's Vegas and VegasForFreeNow.com. This is a walkthrough of the Planet Hollywood's Miracle Mile shops, some history on the property, and everything you'd want to get a primer on the epicenter, literal center of everything Las Vegas on the Strip. So let's take a look at the resort, give you some history and background, and show you what an indoor rainstorm looks like. We start right now. I think it's safe to say this is one of the few malls in Las Vegas that's still going under renovations. We're on the Harmon side of the mall right now. This is what the actual entrance looks like, facing the Marriott and all these different timeshare resorts and properties. We're going to go in this alternate entrance because I think it's more interesting than going in the front. A lot of people never see this part of the mall. The mall has a strange layout, and it's interesting to take a look at how that layout plays into getting lost in this place. And one of the reasons why they changed it from the original Aladdin casino was poor accessibility, really, to be honest with you. So let's go look in the mall. We'll walk right in right now. The first things you might actually notice is all of this strange attire here. I mean, take a look. We look like we're in actually a bay. And there's an indoor rainstorm in here that goes off a little bit later in the day. It's important to note I'm here early in the morning so I can get the best footage. None of the stores, shops, or hardly any of the restaurants are open. But it's better for me to record this time so I can give you a better overview, give you a little bit of the history. This used to be an Aladdin casino, I told you. The Aladdin casino had the Desert Passage shops. A long time ago, if you would come to the front of the casino, you would see different acts like fire breathers and desert, like something you would see from the movie Aladdin. You know, Aladdin and the 40 Thieves, the Disney movie, the upcoming remake. And so with that, there was pedicabs. You could literally take a pedicab through this entire contraption, and you would have to pay for that service, of course. But it's called the Miracle Mile for a reason, and that's because there's literally over 1 mile of walking in here if you were going to go and clock it all. So your legs might get tired. Nowadays, I've seen the pedicabs actually have been converted into garbage. Like they literally pick up garbage and throw them in the back of what once carried people. So how's that for the end of an era in Las Vegas? Let's take a look. Some of the restaurants here are open, but not much else. But at least it's quiet for us, yeah? One of the most interesting things you can see is the roof, and the roof is actually painted very similar to the Forum shops and other malls in Vegas to make it look like you're looking right at beautiful blue skies. And if you see the top, there's definitely that Aladdin style desert theming in here. So originally the floors were not shiny. We were talking tiles everywhere. It's been retrofitted for the Miracle Mile modern shopping look. Everything in Vegas is all about shopping these days. Mall has all these little areas where there's just nothing at all of a sudden, and you have a fork in the road. And one of the interesting things is that right above me here, if you take a look, there's all these arrays of different things, and those were actually laser arrays, and they would bounce lights and have a laser light show with music and fog and everything. This was something they instituted after the mall switched from the whole Aladdin theme to the new shiny Miracle Mile theme, but they don't do that anymore, probably because it takes away from the retail. You have stuff like Lobster Me, which is Lobster Maine. Just call it Lobster Maine. It's not Lobster Me. It's not Austin Powers Lobster Me, baby. And you also have stuff like Fat Tuesday, places you can buy margaritas, because Vegas, baby, for Vegas reasons. We're going to continue on in the mall, so let's take a look at some more cool stuff here. more interesting things that happened with the Planet Hollywood is the luring in Britney Spears and Jennifer Lopez. Those were two headliners that really made this place big and notorious for music and entertainment. The theater right here that we're going to take a look at right now is actually the old Center for Performing Arts. It's the only part of the original 1967 building that was torn down and rebuilt in the 90s that exists. Right now it's called the Zappos Theater, corporate sponsorship and all that stuff. And you can see some of the headliners coming in here. There's Christina Aguilera, there's the Backstreet Boys, Gwen Stefani. You also have Pitbull. Pitbull's been coming here forever and a half, so that's something pretty cool. And the area behind me here is like another public gathering space. You have stuff like the store for all these souvenirs you can get. Look at some of the names of some of the people that have performed here. It's hard to read off the glass, but you have Sting in the year 2000. You have Radiohead, 1993, Fleetwood Mac, 1990, Black Sabbath, 1983, The Grateful Dead in 1981, Eric Clapton in 1976. The history here, Rush in 1980-something. The history here is just phenomenal, something that most people don't think of. They used to have Miss America pageant here every single year before they went back to New Jersey with that. But it's pretty amazing to see all the history that's in this modern building in Las Vegas. The Halo Bar is behind me, a place where you can go get a drink and wait for your show to start. It's a really cool little area that you should probably take a look at, even if you're not seeing one of the shows. More confusing forks in the roads and more weird things to take a look at. This is the Worm. It has LED lights and it changes colors, and it's just pretty. Little fork in the road here. We go to the back of the mall this way. We go to the front of the strip if we go that a ways. Let's walk out to the front of the strip, take a look at the robotic bar. I doubt it's open right now, but it is Vegas, so you never know. It might be open at 8 in the morning. Let's go see if it's open right now and see what the front of the strip looks like from the Planet Hollywood, okay? Standing in front of the main entrance to the main strip, and one of the reasons why the Aladdin pretty much failed was because it was impossible to get in the casino and it was confusing to walk around in, and people avoided it. It wasn't a very bad configuration. I'll throw up a picture of that right now. As we open the doors here, we can see where we are, and it's literally the center of the strip in Las Vegas. I mean, if you want to stay in the center of the action, so to speak, this is the best place for you to be able to do it. Got some harsh sunlight there, didn't we? Holy cow. So we have the Bellagio right behind us, and then we have the Cosmopolitan Tower. A lot of amazing stuff here. We're not going to go in the casino because there's some policies on filming in casinos that I don't want to deal with, but casino doors are right behind me right here. But we need to go find that Tipsy Bar. I got to go show you what robots, bartenders look like, because that's a thing in Vegas too, right? This is the Tipsy robot. This was a big deal when it launched a few years back. It turns out that even robotic bartenders need the day off too, but if you do take a look at it in here, what you'll see is robotic arms and iPads. It's a simple premise. You walk up, you order your drink, and the robotic bartender goes ahead and gets you your drink and then slings it out to you. This one here gets a lot of people. It's a big draw. I guess you get to say that you had a robotic bartender serve you something. If you are one of those doomsdayers and worried about artificial intelligence, this must scare the heck out of you. If you love to see a cool gimmick in Vegas and you're just having a fun time, this is pretty cool to go see, and I think they do non-alcoholic beverages for the little ones too, so you can always get one of them minors you might bring with you, some good, what kind of drinks do they make that don't have alcohol? I don't know, we're in Vegas, who wants one of those, right? So one of the things about this mall that's kind of confusing to some is the way it's set up. It has this double helix kind of configuration where if you're not really sure where you are, you lose all sense of orientation inside. There's, of course, no no windows in the mall. We were just here in this common area with the big worm I showed you. We just came from that a ways. We're gonna go forward and take a look, and we're gonna go see where this goes. So the story of the Saks Theater is actually the story of deception and stiffing people for a lot of money. The story goes that Steve Wyrick was a magician in Las Vegas. That's true. Steve Wyrick convinced a lot of people to give him a lot of money for a show. He pumped himself up to be the next David Copperfield. At one point, he basically stopped paying his bills. He didn't have the money because he financed things like aircraft to put on the theater here at what was once the Wyrick Theater. Eventually, during the recession, when everybody wanted their due and the IRS came calling, the federal marshals put a stop work order on here. He had shows going on. People lost their tickets to the shows. They were issued refunds. And I don't ever know what happened to Steve Wyrick. If he's still performing, I have no idea about that. But David Saks bought that theater. It's now called the Saks Theater. It's actually owned as well as the V Theater we just took a look at. So I guess the story goes that if you're going to talk big, you better follow through and deliver. And what an interesting story. And only in Vegas would you hear about a magician who borrowed millions of dollars to buy airplanes and aircraft and then shuttered down his theater in the middle of the night. What a better way to kind of finish off this video than with the Desert Passage, Oasis in the Desert. Now, obviously, it's not the Desert Passage, it's the Miracle Mile, but it's the indoor rainstorm. You can actually see the desert theming is really strong out here. That's what they were going for. That's the point. And so it says here, the sign says from Monday to Thursday. This happens at the top of each hour, so at 1, 2, 3, and 4 o'clock, for example. And Friday to Sunday, it's every half an hour. So if you're in Vegas, you want to see an indoor rainstorm, you can come and see one right here. Here's a video of the indoor rainstorm happening live. Well, not live, pre-recorded on video for you. It's a pretty cool experience. They renovated the fountain a little while back. They had to clean it all up. And one of the top questions that get asked, what happens to the coins that people throw in? Well, if it's US currency, lucky for them because they actually donate all this. Right now, the coins go to support the United Way. So if you throw your money in here, make sure you're not throwing in your Mexican pesos or your Canadian coins. Throw in some American money and support a good cause. Vegas is, of course, all about the kindness of strangers. One last thing to keep in mind, if you are coming to Vegas and you're looking to pick up some free stuff, make sure you hit up our website, vegasforfreenow.com, and we have some good stuff for you for checking out one of our timeshare promotions. If you're in Vegas, have a great time, be safe out there. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.